Well, people, I don't know what went on with that. Anybody make it? Hey, Nathan. Hey, Thomas, Shane, Lily, June. I don't know what happened with that other one. Everything was set up fine. I had checked my Wi Fi, I had checked everything, and then I punched go live and it dropped it. And I tried to restart it about 6 times and it never would restart. Not a clue what happened, but we're here now. Oh, let me do one or two other real quick little things here. Number one, I don't want top chat. I want live chat. Number two, I want pop out so I can get it big enough to see. No, that's not what I wanted. Try that again. Pop out. I'm sorry, folks. I've had streams drop before, but I never had that happen. Hey, JR. Okay, I think we're all set up. God, wrinkles. Somebody's getting old around here, and it's not me, 'cause I ain't old. Older, but not old. Hey, June. Oh, me. Am I lit any better? First question I want to ask y'all. Does this look any better than it has? Am I lit any better? I've made a couple of changes around here. Probably going to make more changes by next week. Hope to have some changes made by this week, but instead all I've got is a lighting change so far this week. You're right, June. I have days I wake up, I think I'm 110 though. And then again, I have days that I wake up thinking that I'm still 30. No, wishing I was still 30. Let's see. Very bright. Lily, too bright or just a lot better lit than it was? No, JR, hadn't gotten a haircut. I just combed it today. I just got out of the shower about, 20, 30 minutes ago, and it might be laying down so good because it's still slightly damp. It's not off. And a lot of times when I do this, I'll have just had a cap on, which makes the wings fly up. I'll take the cap off and do the live stream, and I've got wings. Trimmed up my beard a little bit. Had to go to a funeral yesterday, so I trimmed up my beard a little bit. Um, Probably my best friend's mother died about 3 weeks ago. No, they didn't wait 3 weeks to bury her. I said I went to a funeral yesterday. I went to a memorial service yesterday. And my friend's father hadn't seen me in probably a year. I walked into the church and he looked and he did a double take. He walked over and says, Bob, you clean up pretty good. Let's see. Oh, me. Overexposed. Yeah. If this was a video, I could fix that in post, but since it's live, I can't do anything about it. Well, you know what? I probably could, but I'm afraid to mess with it. I had trouble getting the stream started. I don't want to mess with it. But yeah, it is a little bit overexposed. Color balance is off a little bit too. I'm too white. It needs to have a little bit more amber in there. New lights. That's my excuse. New lights. First time I set them up for live stream. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. JR, I am 65, and quite frankly, I'd be happy to go back 2 years. Problems still crop up, but at least I'd have a little bit longer before it cropped up. Not a little bit longer, don't worry. I hadn't gotten any news that I hadn't told you all about. Just a little bit longer before the problem cropped up. I hit the wrong button and took me to an earlier point in the broadcast. My cat can work with my keyboard better than I can. You might, earlier point in this broadcast, this one just started a few minutes ago. You might have gone to the one titled, Be Careful What You Say, YouTube is Listening. That one wouldn't start. It just would not start. So I had to start another one. June doesn't want but 10 years back. Yeah, JR getting buffering because the internet doesn't reach to Wyoming very well, or is everybody getting some buffering? JR, they must just have, customs must be checking it out real close at the Wyoming border before it lets it in the state, slowing it down a little bit. Well, let's see. It's 11 minutes after. Plenty of time for people to get in here. A lot of regulars. Missing Mary Grace. If Ken folks got it with no buffering, if Shane, if he's got it with no buffering, it must be doing pretty good because the internet's having to chase him at 60 miles an hour. There's Mary Grace. Getting worried about you a little bit there. Oh, so the regular gang's all here. So there'll be a few more come in, I'm sure. Not everybody on here, but most of you on here have YouTube channels. And ones that don't have YouTube channels are thinking about YouTube channels. One of them took a little attempt at it and put up one short one and hadn't put up any more, and I'm not going to call any names, but her initials are June Carden. And I'd like to see some more videos from her because she's got a channel. She's got one video up. About time for number 2, June. I'm getting them up more often than you are, and I don't get them up very often. Anyway, you're guilty of what, Nathan? Coming in late? That's okay. Everybody comes in late. I'm late sometimes. Most people in here have a YouTube channel. And like I say, if you don't have one, you're thinking about one. JR is thinking about one. June sort of has one. Something has come up in the last week or two. All y'all that have YouTube channels know how YouTube changes their algorithms all the time. What's fine this week doesn't work for next week. That what they like today, they don't like tomorrow. I've had a couple of videos over the last year get demonetized. They actually demonetized. I put up one that was a tribute to either Memorial Day or Veterans Day last year. They demonetized that one. I appealed it and they fixed it. I had one get demonetized last week, one that most of y'all read. It got not totally demonetized. If you get a little yellow symbol, that means that your viewers get reduced, your ads get reduced. YouTube doesn't promote it as good, but they don't just demonetize it. And I got one of those. And I appealed it. And they turned it down. And there's nothing wrong with the video. I mean, it doesn't even come close to violating their terms of service. But after watching a few other videos around and listening to a few other folks' experiences over the last week, I have discovered that YouTube does not want anything controversial. Um, oh, come on. Something happened. I touched something. YouTube doesn't want anything controversial. If y'all remember, oh, 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, after I had that last procedure, the PVE, the portal vein embolization, the title on that was PVE and liver resection or something like that. They demonetized that because of the title. It's medical terms. Last week, I put up one, and I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get this demonetized. But I put up one that was masks, the name of a disease. It's in the news big time these days. And price gouging. They demonetized. And after looking around the YouTube world at some of the channels that I watch, everybody that used that word, the name of that disease that's in the news, everybody that used that word got their video clipped. Still show it, still put minimal ads on it. They don't promote them when that happens to you. YouTube doesn't put you out in front of there when people do a search. It's not, and it actually negatively impacts part of your some of the rest of your channel. You don't get pushed as good. You don't get as many views. All because you said a word that I hear on TV seems like 50 times an hour for the last 2 weeks. You got to be careful about what you say on YouTube. At one point, YouTube was going to completely remove any channels that, other than just in passing, mention guns. Well, fortunately, there's a channel out there called Hickok 45. If y'all hadn't been there and you like shooting, sports, and things like that, HICOK 45. He's got about 4 or 5 million subscribers. And when YouTube said they were going to get rid of channels that had anything to do with guns, every video he does is about guns. He's a cool guy. Retired school teacher just above me up in Tennessee. About 6'7", 6'8", 70 years old, solid as a rock. You watch some of his videos, and when he draws down, it's like he's a rock. My wife was noticing because he was doing a review on the same pistol that I carry, and it's people talk about it because it can't be very accurate because it's so short. It's a little Glock subcompact, little bitty short barrel. And I found a video that he did where he put 5 out of 7 in a 18-inch circle at 230 yards with that little old pistol. And it's 40 caliber. And I showed that to my wife, and the first thing out of her mouth, now you got to understand, my wife's good with a gun. She is real good with a gun. She's better than I am with a gun. First thing, she wasn't watching how many he hit or anything. She said, look at his hands. What do you mean, look at his hands? She said, it's like looking at a statue. When he locked onto that target, he was locked onto that target. Anyway, amazing video. But YouTube was going to get rid of everything having to do with guns. And he said, you want to bet? You want to talk to my lawyers? And YouTube had to back off. He makes with 4.5, 5 million subscribers. He makes enough. He can afford to sue them. I can't. But you got to be really careful about what you say on YouTube if you have a channel. Now, if you don't care if you get demonetized or not, I mean, there's a lot of people that their channel's just for friends and family. As long as the videos don't get taken down, as long as the channels don't get taken down, they don't care. And I can understand that. But there's some people out there, they're like me. I didn't start this to make any money, but now that I am making a little bit, I think I might be up to $1 a day at this point. I'd kind of like to keep that little bit rolling in. And if you're like that and you want to have a little bit coming along, you got to be careful what you say. And somebody, who was it? I just saw it flash by. Hang on, let me find it. JR, you're right. When we start censoring ourselves, we lose. But it's a choice. Which is more important? Avoiding a word and still doing a video about a banned subject. After all, look what I was just talking about with Hickok 45. I don't avoid the subject. I work around the word. You won't find me using that word about that disease that's in the news. You won't find me using that word again. There's ways around it. I've already talked about it in this video. I just didn't say the word, and I'm not going to. I'm not censored. I'm adjusting for the circumstances. Let's see. Hey, Grampy. Didn't see you come in. Let's see. Who else did I miss coming in? I think Grampy's the only one that I hadn't said hello to. So anyway, those of you that have a channel, just be cautious about words. There's always another way to say something and get the point across. When YouTube had their little hissy fit about guns, people just quit using the word guns and started calling them freedom sticks. I don't think YouTube's caught on yet. But you still say the same things. You just be particular about how you say them. And if you don't care whether your channel makes any money, then say it any way you want to. But if you do want your monetized videos to stay monetized, then just adjust. Everything you do, you have to adjust. Saying in the military, you plan all you want to till you get to the battlefield, and then plans change. Well, same thing here. You can plan, and but when you get to the battlefield, when you get on YouTube, sometimes things have to change. You still accomplish the same thing. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Thomas. I didn't do any of that house cleaning, did I? I didn't do any of the house cleaning at the start of this. I didn't even think about that, Thomas. Yeah, the Hope Lodge, American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge in Atlanta is a good. It's my favorite charity in general, and Thomas just put up the link for my book. Yesterday I couldn't spell pig farmer, and today I are one, if y'all want that. I would frankly, right now, if y'all just have a couple of extra bucks to throw somewhere and really want to do some good. Thomas, do you have that link from last week for Eric's GoFundMe page? Kid up in northern Michigan, Wisconsin, I forget where. Wisconsin, I believe. And I call him a kid. He's 35, 36 years old. He'd probably be offended at me calling him a kid. You may have seen his channel, really good YouTube channel called Life in Farmland. He's got to have a kidney transplant. And I mean, he's got to have one like now. And he's not able to work. And his wife's a homeschool mom. And they need some help. So if you've got $8.99 that you were thinking about spending on my book, or $10 you were thinking about sending to the Atlanta Hope Lodge, for the time being, instead of doing that, go to Eric's GoFundMe page. Thomas, Thomas, do you still have that link for Eric's GoFundMe page? Okay, if Thomas can't find it, after this video's over, after this live stream's over, I will go down in the description, and it'll be one of the first things in there. I'll have to find it myself. I've got it over on my main computer, and I'll have to find it myself. But seriously, if y'all have $10 you want to spend, don't spend it on my book. This week, you can buy it next week. Don't spend it on my book, and don't spend it on the Atlanta Hope Lodge this week. Throw it toward Eric, because his family needs some help up there. No problem, Grampy. Grampy Campy. What do I call you? That's like Kinfolk Farmer Georgia. I know his name is Shane. Thomas Schmidt Homestead Project. Well, it's obvious what his name is, Thomas. But I feel weird calling you Grampy Campy. What do we call you here? Grampy or Dwayne? Okay. There's a bunch of messages getting posted for half a second and then getting retracted. Are y'all pulling them back, or does YouTube have a problem with them kicking them off? But anyway, Dwayne, for folks that can, that's what that's for. Folks that can't, there's a lot of times people can't help. And when you can't help with the GoFundMe page, when you don't have a few bucks to send somewhere to a GoFundMe page or anything like that, okay, you got an elderly neighbor needs help with his firewood, go help him cut some firewood. We're supposed to be a community in the homesteading community. And communities help each other out. They can help at a distance. GoFundMe page for Eric. They can help close by. The guy next door that, well, like Thomas. Thomas isn't elderly yet. But Thomas just had neck surgery, back surgery. Neighbor can come over and help with firewood. That's what communities do. They used to do a lot more than that. Used to be needed a barn, all you had to do was gather the materials, and your wife needed to cook. Well, down here in the South, she needed to cook a lot of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and everybody around came over for a barn raising, and you fed them. That was your total labor cost, was feeding them dinner. I miss those days. And yes, I've been around long enough. I've seen those days. Hadn't seen it like it was back in the 1800s, but I've seen it where things like that happen. Wish it was still that way. Wasn't around for the Friday night, Saturday night dance at the community center. Never have been around for that. I do remember a time when somebody passed. They didn't have the family didn't have to worry about fixing meals or anything like that for a week or so. 'Cause somebody many times a day was coming over, dropping off a casserole or bringing over a plate full of fried chicken or pies. The family got fed. That's one thing they didn't have to worry about. They don't do that anymore. Although yesterday, that memorial service I went to yesterday was between the church's regular service. Well, it was after the regular service, and there was a break in between. The memorial service was at 2:30. Well, at 1:30, they had a dinner, and I'm thinking that's cool. It's like it used to be. And I asked my friend Dave, I said, well, what's for dinner? Is this like a potluck? Everybody brings a casserole or what? He said, nope, it's biscuits and gravy. I said, biscuits and gravy? He said, yep. He said, that was Mom's favorite dish, was biscuits and gravy. So that's what the dinner's going to be, is biscuits and gravy. Some of the best biscuits and gravy you ever had. But they said those biscuits weren't near as good as Paula, Dave's mother. Wasn't near as good as hers. All right, let me catch up over here for a second. I'll be right back. Let's see. There you go. Thomas found it. I know what pictures you saw, Shane. He sent me the same pictures. They'll be in a video this next week. Oh. No, Shane, they're not my piglets. Those are 3 of Dennis's piglets. Dennis is the guy, for you folks that don't know, Dennis is the guy that's babysitting 3 of my sows while I get my health issues straightened out. And he's not charging me. He won't let me pay him. So the deal is, any babies my sows have while he's babysitting them, those are his piglets. And Shane had been going to get 3 from me, but now he's getting 3 from Dennis. And they are some nice looking pigs, aren't they, Shane? Those things aren't but 3 or 4 weeks old tomorrow, and they are big. Chocolate gravy, June? I've heard of it, never had it, and it just doesn't sound that good to me. Yeah, no, Mary Grace, I'm glad a lot of folks showed up too. It was a memorial service, okay? And nobody talks bad about people at memorial services. So nobody was going to talk bad about Paul. But you could tell the way, and I didn't know her that good. Now, her son Dave is my best friend. And I had met Paula a couple of times, very briefly in passing. I know Dave's dad, Dave Sr., better than I knew her by far. But you could tell the way people said good things about her. Because it was kind of a different memorial service. They had a eulogy and a homily, but they also had an open mic where anybody there could stand up and they'd give them a microphone and say whatever they wanted to about Paul. And you could tell the way, not just what people said, but the way they said it. That was one fine, generous, kind-hearted lady. I wish I've known Dave for 15 years and they don't live at 2 miles down the road. I wish I'd gotten to know her better, just from what I heard about her yesterday. I'm the worst for not having known So what have y'all been up to this week? Let's see. Shane has been chasing away hawks. Nona Grace has been fighting the mud. How's that mud solution working out for you, Mary Grace? The pine pellets. That working out pretty good. Oh, and I've been meaning to ask you, the green siding or the green sides of your chicken coop area, what kind of material is that? And the reason I ask is that looks exactly like the stuff that's on the side of my yurt. It's called architectural fabric. It's a flexible PVC. That's what it looks just like what I've got on my yurt. And every time I see your chicken coop, I'm thinking, is that a chicken coop that started out life being a built chicken coop, or did it start out life as a 12 or 16 foot yurt? Because it sure looks like my yurt, just much smaller scale. JR, if I had to give up coffee, I'd be in serious trouble. Shane, do you raise your ducks for meat? Do you raise them for eggs? Or do you raise them for fertilized eggs to sell to other people that want to hatch out ducks? Because I'm thinking about getting some ducks and a couple of drakes to, after surgery and everything, to sell fertile eggs. I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but when you watch a lot of homesteading videos, at the end of the video, all those homesteading type videos pop up on the screen. Well, if you've ever seen one that it says make, let me get this right, make $2,000 a month with 20 ducks or something like that. Watch that thing. That's interesting. The guy was raising ducks just to get fertile eggs that he sold for like $3 a piece. Of course, he's lost it. If you look at the date on it, that was about 2.5 years ago. He's lost interest in ducks. Now he raises boa constrictors in downtown Denver, Colorado. Let's see. I hope that works for you, Grampy. I really do. Oh, me. Well, this has been somewhat boring. All I did was gripe about YouTube. Does anybody else have anything they want to stick in on the topic, or pick another topic and start talking? Y'all talk back and forth and chat as much as I talk to you. Somebody get something going, because I'm about run out. I'm kind of low on energy today. But I can sit here and talk just as long as y'all have something for me to comment on. You can ask anybody that knows me. I never shut up. I never shut up. I think my surgeon is going to have earplugs, or I'll probably be talking to him the whole time he's operating on me. Well, looks like the scroll has slowed down some. You know, how long have I been talking here? Oh, it's supposed to tell me, and it's not telling me how long I've been going. Yeah, okay, there it is. 35 minutes. You know, folks, I do think I'm going to call it. Um, don't worry, I ain't feeling bad or anything like that. I just, not a lot of energy today. I don't know why I hadn't done a thing, which might be the problem. When you don't do anything, it's sort of a vicious circle. Don't do anything so you don't feel like doing anything, so you do even less, so you feel even less like doing anything. I think that's probably my problem today. Today has been a kind of a lazy day around here, which is a shame. It's a beautiful, clear blue sky day. We hadn't had any rain today, hadn't had any rain yesterday. Don't think we had any Friday. It's supposed to come in tomorrow night about midnight and last for 48 hours and then be gone again. For whatever reason, I hadn't gotten out much today, a little bit. I did have a tree come down and missed my stock trailer out there by that much. Glad it missed it. Crushed a couple of feed barrels where I had been keeping my pig feeds. But that's all it got was a couple of $10 55-gallon drums. We're in good shape on that. But I'm going to call it a night. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. There's 12 people watching and only 7 thumbs ups. Come on, people. Give me a thumbs down then. The thumbs up and the thumbs down should add up together to how many people are watching. And if you like the channel and it's your first time in here, Grampy Campy, I think you've been in here before. I'm not sure. I think everybody else is pretty much a regular. But if there's anybody here that's not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down there, and don't forget, after you hit the subscribe button, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. After you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so that you'll get notifications that another video is coming. Have a fantastic week. I mean, just, if your last week was fantastic, then have one even better this week. Just always remember how easy, no, excuse me, I'm wrong, how simple those fantastic weeks are to have. All it takes is 2 things. Just remember that the tomb was empty and that he is alive. I'll see y'all next week. By the way, I'll also see you tomorrow morning. I've got one already shot that I've got to edit tonight that'll be up tomorrow morning. Hope to get 2 or 3 out this week before we roll around to another live next Sunday. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Have a great week.